Live from Midtown Atlanta, this is CBS 46 News at 11.
Breaking news right now, firefighters are battling a massive fire at a warehouse in Marietta. You can see just how strong these flames are from this viewer video sent into our newsroom.
This is all happening on Industrial Park Drive near Cobb Parkway and Allgood Road. That's just off 75. The fire has shut down businesses in this area and forced evacuations. CBS 46's Christopher King is live on the scene for us tonight. Christopher, how bad is it out there?
Stephanie, this is some pretty scary stuff. Take a look over here. This is what people who are driving along I-75 are seeing right now, this massive fire. We have already seen some flare-ups from explosions, and it looks like a scene straight out of hell. The flames are roaring, and thick, dark smoke are billowing into the sky. They've been raging out of control for hours. This is at the AMREP plant. It's a chemical company. There have been several big explosions inside. Firefighters and police have cleared out the Walker School and businesses nearby. They're worried the fire could spread to the surrounding buildings. There are no residential areas in any danger. We spoke with some people who live nearby. Here's what they had to say.
We saw smoke coming up, and then we saw large fireball explosions shooting up in the air about 150 feet, 200 feet.
That's my first time seeing like black smoke everywhere, and it was going on top of us, so I thought I was gonna die.
How scary was it?
Really, really scary.
Now, investigators tell us no toxic chemicals have been released. Firefighters have about 25 trucks out here. Lockheed Martin, the military contractor nearby, has 2 foam spraying trucks out here. All of Cobb Parkway from North Marietta through the Canton Road connector are shut down. The cause of the fire is under investigation. We will bring you the very latest details when we get them. We're live in Marietta. Christopher King, CBS 46 News.
Let's take a live look at the fiery scene from Interstate 75 North. This is the vantage point from Canton Road. You can see the explosions Christopher was talking about in the flames, but really the story tonight has been that thick black smoke just spewing out of this warehouse all night long. Here is a map to give you an idea of exactly where this is happening so you know the area to avoid tonight. This is Industrial Park Drive near Cobb Parkway and Allgood Road. The area, as you heard Christopher mention, the businesses there are being shut down and the area is evacuated. Now, firefighters tell us the building is owned by a company called AMREP. This company formulates and packages specialty chemicals. That probably explains why it is burning so hot and so fast. They make chemicals for cars and fleet management. That means cleaners, degreasers, and lubricants.
Now take a look at this video from a CBS 46 viewer. Debbie shot this video, those huge flames flaring up from that warehouse. You see them shooting so high into the sky, and then those thick clouds of black smoke that Stephanie has been talking about that we've been seeing all night long pouring out of that building. We've been getting pictures from a lot of you as well. Lisa Charlton posted this one to our Facebook page. She thought the whole thing was like a thunderstorm. Turns out it was explosions from that fire. Cynthia Harris posted this picture as well. Again, more of that thick black smoke there in the sky. This fire is so huge, it's actually showing up on CBS 46's weather radar.
Let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Markina Brown, tonight. And Markina, the winds seem to have died down a bit. How are the conditions outside affecting this fire?
Well, as you know, they're pretty dry. Our humidity is starting to creep up, and it always does at nighttime. But you're right. Not only did we see that little blip on radar, but our exclusive WeatherBug network just happened to be at the right place at the right time. I want to show you this time lapse from earlier today where you could see it was just normal, nothing going on. They were looking at a partly cloudy sky. This camera is right at Lockheed Elementary School, which is about a little over a mile and a half east of the warehouse where this fire happened. And as I roll this here, keep your eye to the right of the screen, you can see the smoke kind of come out of nowhere. That is how it happened there, and that is what they're obviously dealing with right now as we take a look at some current temperatures. Again, just a little over a mile and a half away from where this is happening. We're looking at 76 degrees in terms of the air temperature, but when you factor in that humidity, which as I said always increases at night, they're at 60% now. It feels like 79 degrees there, and this is real-time data as it's happening. The winds are definitely not a problem, which is good news because they are actually nice and calm. So as you can see, The weather is not going to be a problem for firefighters, but we will continue to monitor this, of course, as we go throughout the course of the evening. That's a look at the weather situation. For now, guys, we're going to send it back to you.
Markina, thanks, and we will get you back to that scene as the situation warrants. We are certainly watching this as one of our top stories tonight, and you can see more pictures and video of that fire on our website, CBS46.com. Lots of information for you. We are continuing to post new information as well. Just click on the story there in the blue box at the top of the page.
In other news tonight, Cobb County's chief deputy responds to our exclusive video. This video of deputies capturing an inmate who escaped from the Cobb County jail. They found Trevor Mandich last night. He was hiding in a shed in the backyard of a home in Marietta. The second guy who escaped the jail, Richard Hattersley, had been captured a few hours earlier. Arrest warrants that we got our hands on show Hattersley was in jail for begging and then lying to police about his identity. Mandich is serving time for burglary. Well, there were questions as to why the deputies didn't capture Mandich the first time they went in and searched that shed. Cobb County Chief Deputy Milton Beck says the building where Mandich was found was, quote, extremely cluttered with debris, clothes, tools, and other junk items. He was able to hide in the rafters and he buried himself in a pile of clothes. Upon the initial search, he was not found by deputies. Georgia's Division of Family and Children's Services, DFACS, is under scrutiny again tonight after another child is beaten to death. The GBI says 5-year-old Heaven Woods was killed by her mother at her home in Forsyth on Tuesday. Police arrested the mother, Amanda Hendrickson, and her boyfriend. Now, Heaven was known to caseworkers with DFACS, as were 2 other young people, 12-year-old Eric Forbes and 10-year-old Imani Moss. Police say Eric and Imani were killed last year by their parents. DFACS sent this statement to CBS 46 tonight, and it reads, the governor's budget for 2015 includes funding for 175 new social services caseworkers and supervisors. DFACS is currently hiring these new employees in addition to filling any current vacancies and plans for all to be on board by July 1. Since November, DFACS has implemented several new strategies to improve the safety of children in Georgia.
The federal government is appealing an Atlanta judge's ruling involving contraception and religion. Back in March, Judge William Duffy barred the federal government from forcing religious organizations to provide contraception. The ruling affects nonprofits that are affiliated with the Catholic Church. The mandate is part of the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, but Judge Duffy wrote this, that the mandate violates federal law, the law that prohibits the government from imposing a burden on a person's religious practices. Tomorrow, Atlanta's oldest black church is holding its last open house at its current location. Friendship Baptist Church is being torn down later on this year to make way for the new Falcon Stadium. It was founded a century and a half ago. Tomorrow's open house will run from 10 a.m. until 2, and then the congregation will hold its last service at that historic building this Sunday.
In a CBS 46 exclusive, Holly Springs police will soon carry medication to help someone who is overdosed on drugs. This is the first police force in our state to use naloxone. It's also known as Narpan. The nasal spray immediately reverses the effects of an overdose. Lieutenant Tanya Smith was behind the effort to get it here. Her 20-year-old daughter, Taylor, OD'd on methamphetamine and her friends left her to die. There's a new amnesty law that will allow you to call for help when someone overdoses without getting into any trouble, and it clears the way for officers to administer this anti-overdose drug.
If there is one mother out there that doesn't have to bury her child because of the 911 law or because of naloxone, then I can go in peace.
Holly Springs officers will be trained to administer the anti-overdose medication next week, and they can begin using it immediately. And we're told other police departments here in Metro Atlanta are interested in the drug as well.
Well, folks, have you heard of a new show from a couple of characters named Stackhouse and Boo? Well, we hope not, because they're prison inmates, but in their words, they're broadcasting live behind bars. CBS 46 investigates how they're doing it. Plus,
you have absolutely no clue what she went through.
Michelle Knight explodes after another woman is called a liar for coming forward after she was abducted, raped, and held captive for nearly a decade. Michelle's fight for fellow survivors of abuse.
Showers and storms are in the forecast as we get into the holiday weekend. I've got some details for you on that and the heat coming up.
And don't forget, we continue to follow this breaking news out of Cobb County tonight. You are looking live at the scene of this massive fire still in Marietta. CBS 46 has several crews on the ground working to get you new information. We will have an update coming up in just moments. Don't forget, we are constantly updating the stories, pictures, and videos on our website. All you have to do is log on to CBS46.com. And we are staying on top of this breaking news that broke at about 8:45. We have been on it ever since. Firefighters battling a massive fire at a warehouse in Marietta.
This is on Industrial Park Drive near Cobb Parkway and Allgood Road, just off Interstate 75. Let's get back out to CBS 46's Christopher King, who's live on scene.
Stephanie, this is getting more and more dangerous inside. Take a look over here. This is the scene right now. Firefighters are going to an unmanned attack right now. What that means is they've had to pull crews away from the building and just use trucks to spray water on the fire. They're worried some tanks inside could explode. This fire has been raging out of control for hours. This is at the Amret plant. It's a chemical company. There have been several big explosions inside. Firefighters and police have cleared out the Walker School and businesses nearby. They're worried the fire could spread to surrounding buildings. There are no residential areas in any immediate danger. Investigators tell us no toxic chemicals have been released. All of Cobb Parkway from North Marietta through the Canton Road connector are shut down. The cause of this fire is under investigation, and of course, we will bring you the latest details when we get them. For now, we're live in Marietta. Christopher King, CBS 46 News.
It sounds like he's not guilty, and this is all fabricated.
Strong words tonight from the defense attorney for a California man accused of abducting a 15-year-old and keeping her captive for nearly a decade. The now 25-year-old woman says her mother's ex-boyfriend drugged and abducted her, abused her, and then forced her to marry him and have his child. One woman who has been in a similar situation is urging people not to rush to judgment. Michelle Knight, who survived 10 years in captivity with 2 other women in Ohio, became emotional today when a CNN correspondent asked her about that attorney's accusations.
You have absolutely no clue what she went through to say things and say that she was lying or she's doing this. You're making people not want to come out, not want to say anything. You're making people want to sit there and keep it to themselves and go through the abuse when you say stupid crap like that. I need a break.
So sorry, Michelle. Knight's abductor, Ariel Castro, was sentenced to more than 1,000 years in prison for kidnapping and raping those 3 women. He killed himself in prison last year.
Now to a CBS 46 exclusive. Right now, the feds are investigating inmates who are from Tennessee, but they're being housed in a U.S. penitentiary here in Atlanta.
CBS 46's Adam Murphy exposes that the prisoners are using contraband devices to, in their words, broadcast live from a place you think would be locked up tight.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Stackhouse and Don reporting live from the federal penitentiary.
You could call it the Stackhouse and Boo Show, courtesy of the federal penitentiary in Atlanta.
Y'all stay tuned in, man. You know, we always gonna keep y'all updated what's going on in this prison.
These inmates' actual names are Cameron Braswell and Rex Whitlock. They show off their shoes, their stamps, and tattoos in status updates they post on Facebook using smuggled cell phones.
I'm responsible for being caught with 8 kilograms of cocaine down here in Atlanta.
They're federal inmates, one convicted of drug charges, the other of drug and weapons charges. And until these videos and pictures were brought to the attention of the feds, the show went unnoticed on social media. On Braswell's page, he even thanks the president and U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder for reducing prison sentences for drug offenders.
I looked at everybody comment, the hood love me.
Braswell and Whitlock openly talk about using social media while behind bars to communicate with family and friends.
So keep on commenting, sending all friend requests. Y'all already know I'm accepted, man.
And they make no secret of how they're doing it, even when they have problems with the contraband.
We had some technical difficulties with the video. We don't know how to work these phones. All these buttons and apps. We promise you we're gonna get y'all the video y'all want tomorrow.
It's illegal to have cell phones in prisons, but it's not stopping everyone. Last year, authorities seized more than 4,000 of them inside Georgia prisons. So how are they getting them in? People are tossing them over the fence, smuggling them in shoes, and guards are walking them in, even though they should know better. The Federal Bureau of Prisons confirms they are now investigating how the pair obtained the contraband. A spokesman says federal inmates are not authorized to use any equipment that would allow for creating videos of themselves inside our prisons. The spokesman goes on to say they're now contacting Facebook, so it may not be long before these inmates are silenced. Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
The Federal Bureau of Prisons said in a statement to CBS 46 these inmates could now face sanctions and possible prosecution in federal court.
Police in Cartersville want to know why they weren't notified sooner about a gun that was found at a middle school. The department is investigating after a 12-year-old student was found in possession of a handgun at Cartersville Middle in Bartow County. Happened on Monday, but police didn't get a report until yesterday. The Cartersville Police Department released this statement to us, to our newsroom here at CBS 46, saying this, quote, school officials will have to respond about why it wasn't reported until now.
Now, your CBS 46 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Markina Brown.
Hey there, we are nice and dry just like earlier today and just like the day before and the day before. Thanks to that area of high pressure. Taking a look at our exclusive WeatherBug network. We've got a heat index out there, people. It feels like 78 degrees in Alpharetta, even though the actual air temperature is in the low 70s, and you can go all the way down the line from Decatur to Jonesboro and Lawrenceville and see a difference in that air temperature and the heat indices. So as we talk about lows for tonight in Atlanta, we're doing 67 degrees. We will keep it mainly clear, and obviously that is a very warm temperature for an overnight low. Tomorrow, more 80s, more mid to upper 80s. In fact, not as windy, but as far as the sunshine and the heat goes, that is definitely still going to be around. The average high is 82 degrees for this time of year. We're doing 88 in Covington, 89 in Griffin and Eatonton, and the folks in Rome will see temperatures tomorrow top out in the low 80s. So taking a look at the 7-day forecast for you, you'll notice that we are going to continue with a slight chance for showers and storms, mainly in the afternoon. And we saw a little bit of that earlier this afternoon where we had a few severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for extreme North Georgia. We'll continue with that possibility because we've got weak disturbances kind of riding through the area that will give us that chance. But temperature-wise, we're at 85 degrees as we get into Sunday. For the holiday on Monday, those numbers will be in the upper 80s, not only on Monday, but also as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. But as we get into the middle and end of the week, you notice that chance for showers and storms increases. That's because a front will come our way, and it will give us an even better chance for showers and storms. That's a look at the 7-day forecast. For now, Scott, back to you.
Thanks, Markina. Huge moment for a special needs student who was first told he couldn't walk across the stage with his graduating class. Well, our exclusive story comes to a very happy ending.
We continue to follow that breaking news out of Cobb County. Take another live look at the scene of a massive fire in Marietta. This has been raging out of control since about 8:45 tonight. This is the AMREP plant. This is a chemical company. They make a lot of chemicals in there, and there have been several big explosions. Firefighters have cleared the area. They've actually pulled back from the scene and are putting water on it from the outside. They are not going into the building anymore. It is simply too dangerous. Businesses nearby have been evacuated. This isn't near any neighborhood, so that's the good news, and all the businesses have been evacuated. Cobb Parkway is shut down right now. CBS 46 has several crews on the ground working to get you new information. Of course, we will have another update in just moments. And on the right-hand side, you can see some of that video that a viewer sent in to us, Scott.
Yeah, and we got a lot of pictures from a lot of you tonight, so thank you for sending in the videos, pictures that were posted to our Facebook page. But there were those several explosions out there. Some people said they thought it was thunder, but it was just more and more explosions happening. Yeah,
our Chief Meteorologist Markina Brown joins us once again. And Markina, you have a good vantage point of this as well, right?
Yeah, our exclusive WeatherBug network is pretty handy on a day-to-day basis, but really on a day like today, it shows us real-time data like this. This location, which is Lockheed Elementary School, is about a little over a mile and a half away from the warehouse. So it's showing you real-time weather conditions as they're happening there. 76 degrees is the current air temperature, but when you factor in the humidity there, it feels like 79, but more importantly, winds are nice and light. So this is what we will continue to monitor. And this is, of course, as you know, very valuable information for those firefighters out there.
All right. Thank you, Markina. CBS 46 gets action for a high school senior fighting for the right to walk with his graduating class. For the past week, we've been telling you about Christopher Aldridge, a special needs student at Allatoona High School.
So at first, the Cobb County School Board said that he couldn't walk in the ceremony because he still had one more test to take. Tonight, though, he's a high school graduate. Christopher King has more from one happy and one relieved family.
Christopher E. Aldridge.
Christopher Aldridge couldn't believe it.
I thought it was a dream.
Aldridge was living out his dream.
I didn't think it was real. I got, really? I'm actually here?
He lives with cerebral palsy, autism, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
It was a lot to do.
When Aldridge was in 5th grade, one of his counselors told his parents he wouldn't make it to high school.
We didn't want a dropout.
But he worked hard, passed his courses, and today fulfilled a lifelong dream and marched with his high school classmates in the Allatoona High School graduation.
I did it.
But he almost didn't.
It would have been painful because this is something he's not going to get back.
Christopher's mom, Brenda, says at first the Cobb County School Board told him he could not walk in this ceremony and get a regular diploma because he did not pass a state science exam.
It was upsetting.
The district offered him a special education diploma.
That's unacceptable.
But after weeks of meetings and emails, the board told the Aldridges they'd phased out the special ed diploma years ago.
I had a big fight.
Instead, they offered Christopher an employment preparatory diploma that lets him enter the workforce. His family thanks CBS 46.
Had you not gotten here, this wouldn't have happened.
Christopher has a message for his doubters.
Y'all say that I wouldn't achieve nothing, but I achieved something great, and I told y'all so.
After all his challenges, Christopher Aldridge can now proudly add high school graduate to his list of achievements. Christopher King, CBS 46 News.
Now, a spokesman for the district says the school board offered Aldridge the option for a work certificate in the first place, and the spokesman also says the board never changed its position. Aldridge says he will take that state science test over again so he can get his full-fledged diploma.
We continue to follow breaking news in Cobb County that is affecting people's evening plans and the traffic on Cobb Parkway. A live look at the scene of that massive fire in Marietta. CBS 46 has several crews on the ground. We will bring you new information in just minutes.
Welcome back, folks. Of course, we are staying on top of this breaking news that we have been following now for close to 3 hours. Firefighters still battling this huge fire. It's at a warehouse in Marietta, and what you can tell right there, you could tell one of those explosions that happened out there. This is a live look at one of our Department of Transportation cameras.
This is on Industrial Park Drive near Cobb Parkway and Allgood Road off of 75. Christopher King has been out there all night. Christopher, what's the latest where you are?
Stephanie, the flames are still raging out of control. Take a look over here. It is so dangerous in there. Firefighters have had to fall back and just use trucks to spray water. They're worried some tanks inside could explode. This fire has been raging out of control for hours. This is at the AMREP plant. It's a chemical company. There have been several big explosions inside. Firefighters have had to clear out the Walker School and businesses nearby. They're worried the fire could spread to surrounding buildings. Right now, there is no cause. Police are still investigating that, and there's been no release of toxic chemicals. For now, we are live in Marietta. Christopher King, CBS 46 News.
Thank you, Christopher, for the update. Traffic continues to move on Interstate 75 behind Christopher, so that's some good news, but not as fortunate on those side streets around the AMREP plant there. Cobb Parkway in Marietta, probably a parking lot right now.
And the other good news that we've been getting throughout the night, businesses got evacuated out there, and from what we're learning, no injuries out there from anyone involved. So, of course, we're staying on top of this. We're coming right back with more news here at 11 o'clock. Stay with us.
We will continue to follow this breaking news of a massive warehouse fire in Marietta overnight. Get the very latest on CBS 46 Morning News at 7 a.m.